Exactly.
The people, the person who was investigating it had actually called.
I think I'm on.
The places that they were saying that they were getting the money for, and they found out that those places didn't know anything about the GoFundMe.
Okay.
So,
Let's.
Somebody's getting $30 million with like nothing. So.
8:01.
All right, I'll let you go.
All right, I'm kicking off here. Oh, that was a little quick.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy. Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. But it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy,
Kennedy, Kennedy, Kennedy.
Do you want a man with spirit who is not afraid to fight?
A man whose record shows that he will fight for what is right.
A loyal man who'll bring the job a fresh new point of view. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. 'Cause it's Kennedy, 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 for me.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
And do you deny to any man the right he's guaranteed to be elected president, no matter what his creed?
It's promised in the Bill of Rights, to which we must be true.
So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. And it's Kennedy, 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 for me.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair? We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you cast your vote for Kennedy and the change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you. Yes, it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy,
Welcome, welcome, welcome. From my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley, part of the Lehigh Valley, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, part of the United States, Western Hemisphere, North American continent, on this planet Earth, the only one we have. Third rock from the sun in the Terran solar system, part of the Milky Way galaxy. This is TKE tonight for the 4th of November, 2024. The last day, last evening, last hours of campaigning before Election Day tomorrow and the end of the election cycle. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, might be thinking to yourself, gosh, he's going to have a hell of a lot to say tonight. Well, not so much. And let me tell you why. Now, immediately in the chat, Donna has been kind enough to ask how I am feeling. I am feeling terrible. I'm feeling dreadful. I just came in from walking the dog around the block, and I cannot get my breath back. I'm completely out of breath. Chest pains have been much worse today, and much more constant and consistent. So I have 2 more doctors. I have a doctor's appointment Wednesday, another test Wednesday, and another test on whenever the hell the 13th is. So still no answers. I still do not know what is wrong with me. Mike, kind enough to say that I look terrible. I know he doesn't mean it personally. It's like, geez, okay, thanks. And kick a man when he's down. I know he doesn't mean it personally. Truly, I know he doesn't. I'm just saying it's, it's funny. It's just kind of funny. Like, yeah, no wonder you don't feel well. You look like shit. I'm aware. I'm very aware. The interesting thing that happened to me today, which has not happened exactly, at least not as bad as today, is just no appetite whatsoever until about 2 hours ago when I just became ravenously hungry. I devoured a very long sub for dinner because we're both work so much. There's just like no food in the house. There's like, it's kind of crazy. Mike says French staff. Oh, you are so right. Let me just divert here for a second. I'm not going to be on with you long. Like, I would be absolutely gobsmacked if I made it to the bottom of the hour. But let me just say this really quick. Social media can be a very, very dangerous, a very, very destructive, divisive, angry place. But to the folks who are kind enough, and believe me when I say kind enough to be here each and every night, to listen to me prattle on about whatever, about whatever is bothering me that day, or as Mike would say, whatever I'm doom scrolling about that day. It means a tremendous amount to me, not just for the show standpoint, but just for the fact that you folks care enough to come here every night and listen to, or at least every night that I'm on, and listen to what the hell I have to blabber about. And let me remind you, with all sincerity, I'm not that smart, and I'm not that special, and you folks have a million other things you could be doing with your time. So it means a tremendous amount to me that you're here. Let me, and the fact that you give, a snoot at all about how I'm feeling or what my health is, where it means a lot. Honestly, it really, really does. I know it doesn't always seem that way, or sometimes, I can get on my high horse. But please know it really does mean a lot when you're here. I'd like to think that we've developed a bit of a family here, and that you are welcome here. That this is a safe space, and I don't mean safe so far as like you'll get coddled and participation trophies and whatnot, but more that if you don't agree, you're welcome here. If you think I'm full of BS, you can tell me, and you're welcome here. And let's talk it out. Let's debate about it. Mike and I have had some rip roars, and we've disagreed with passion, with energy, but with respect, and at least in a virtual way, at least we've hugged it out, so to speak. Not obviously not physically. He's in Mississippi, I'm Pennsylvania, but you get my point. But it does mean a tremendous amount. Truly, I mean, honestly, it really does. It really sucks that I probably can't last too long here, because I see some new names in the chat. I see some returning names from last night, which is really exciting. Let me say out loud a very special welcome to Of course, Randall and Mike and Donna. I know George is listening because he's monitoring, he's fighting with his computer, which I will talk about the GoFundMe before I sign off. He's having problems with his computer. That's why we have a GoFundMe in the first place. I want to welcome back Rebecca. I believe Rebecca was listening last night. And George, a different George. George Dare is tuning in, making sure that we're actually on the air and sound like human beings. George W. I want to say, not George W. Bush either. I just realized when that came out of my face, I'm like, oh my God, George W. No. There's a George, last name W, starts with a W. Hopefully, George, you know what I'm talking about. I believe I saw his name last night, and I think possibly until last week. So welcome back again. Kathy. Kathy N. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Very nice to have you here. And of course, Gambit in the house. It's not a show without him. Look, I don't want to be over dramatic. I certainly don't think my death is imminent. I don't think I'm going to die in my sleep. I don't think I'm going to have a massive heart attack on the air, even though it would be excellent television. I was just joking with George before I came up to get on with you. It's like, it would be great for the show if I died on the air. The only problem is I can only do it once. It's not a repeatable act. But anyway, so the fact that you come here every night really does mean a lot to me. It does. I love radio. I really do. I have done radio since I was in high school. I've also had the opportunity to do television. I enjoy television a great deal, but I think there's something very different about radio. There's something intrinsically personal about it. A news presenter, a late night comedian, a pundit on TV, God knows there's enough of those, can stare into the camera and give you the impression that they're talking to you. But even with that visual, it doesn't beat radio. There's just something terribly comforting and familiar and familial about radio. We can carry radio with us. Now we can stream it, but when the transistor radio was invented, we could take these things with us. We could take the people that presented the music to us that we liked. We could take the vaudeville type skits and radio serials. And I don't mean breakfast cereal. I mean soap operas, the radio soap operas. We could take those with us. We could take the ball game with us. We could take it to work. We could, if we had cars without radios, and those weren't always a thing. I mean, I think radios only became standard in most automobiles in the late 50s. I think it's the late 50s that they became standard. You could order one, but I think they became a normal part of it. But my point is, it's very familiar. It's friendly. When you listen to a radio host, whether it's political or about the paranormal or sports radio, you do kind of feel like, I think you feel a little more of a connection with them. The local folks who might do radio play-by-play and color analysis for your local high school, or the high schools, plural, in your region. You kind of feel like you know them. The local news presenter, or at least there used to be such things. I don't know how many are left, but you kind of feel like you know them. And if you're lucky enough to have a local radio station that's not owned by Sinclair or Clear Channel or affiliated with the Fox network or whatever, then there might still be local radio people in your area. You see them in the store. Kind of the thing about newspapers. You used to know who your newspaper reporters were. You'd put a little picture of themselves next to the articles that they wrote, and you could bump into them at the grocery or at a county fair or something, and you knew who they were. The internet's taken a little bit of that away. It's actually taken a lot of that away. But the fact that so many of you seem to have become a part of this family, I think, with those kind of things in mind, that radio still kind of matters. And that there's, well, it doesn't, more than kind of matters, it matters a tremendous amount. I wish the Democratic Party would realize how the hell much it matters. The so-called liberal billionaires, of which I know none, but they're welcome to donate if they wish. I think there's a lot of that old time, or what I kind of hope is old time connection that I hope that we've developed as a radio family here on TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect on Sundays, and that I hope we will spread into GCPR. It's nice that Gambit's here, so he can. I would hope that he would agree with me. I suspect he would. I hope he does. Certainly doesn't have to. Nobody ever has to. But it's something that we hope we can share with you all throughout GCPR, throughout everything that we do. Whatever the show topic is, whether it's the help desk talking about computers, or us talking about politics, or Thomas being funny in the morning, or Rules of Nerdquisition talking about science fiction and fantasy and comic books and things like that. We hope that we can and have developed that familiar, take along buddy sort of, that comfort. We hope we've developed that here. And I guess the reason why I'm being a little, Mike, that's funny. I get it though. I think Mike's 100% right. Well, of course he's right. He said it, but hey, some of the biggest radio personalities in the Midwest are the ones that give the farm reports, the ones that give the corn report and the weather report. But so he's right. Mike's right. Look at that comment. Down here we have a local radio guy who does the hog report. The price of pork is still a thing. He's right. Gosh, he's right. It's true, though. Some of the most famous radio personalities in the Midwest, and I'm not kidding, the Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Oklahoma, northern Missouri, the southern southern South Dakota, the wheat belt, if you will, the farm belt. It's the guy that gives the weather, and the guy that gives the corn report, the guy that gives the commodities report. Shows on the, you can hear some of those shows on the weekend where you live. They talk about farm equipment and repairing your own equipment and things like that. But anyway, that's a great reference, Mike. My God, that's a great reference. The Les Ness. That's fantastic. If anybody remembers WKRP, what a great show. I was not allowed to watch WKRP when it was out on the air live because I was too young. I thought I was too young for it. It was a little too adult. But anyway, and not like overtly like dirty adult, but just a little. It wasn't exactly the Muppet Show. Anyway. Sorry, I need a breath. So I guess a very, very long-winded way of saying thank you. It just means, it does mean a lot to me that you're all here, that you're here every night. Let me tell you very quickly, we got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to try to get to the bottom of the hour. Let me tell you what's coming up over the next few days. Tomorrow night, live on GCPR and all of our video outlets, including our YouTube channel, the GCPR YouTube, but as well as my YouTube, that other side of information. Ghost Claw Entertainment and Ghost Claw Productions on Facebook, as well as our home group Facebook page, that other side of information. Hear a theme here. We're going to give you some live election night coverage. I don't expect that we'll be on the we'll have too many results to share with you, but we will be on the air talking about Election Day, talking about the different reports from around the country. If there's any bad news as far as voter intimidation, any more drop boxes that are set on fire, anything like that, we'll bring that all to you. We want to bring you the good stories too. So I'm asking you ahead of time To all of you who might be voting tomorrow in person, and I am voting tomorrow in person because I want to see what's going on at my polling place. Please let us know how your day was. Let us know how your voting experience was. So here's what's going to happen on GCPR. When I sign off at 8:30, you got a break. You got a pretty, today's Monday. No, you don't. Well, you got a half-hour break. I think, if George is still listening, actually I should text George. I'll try to find out what's coming up at 9. Oh, darn it. I should have done this ahead of time. Boy, it's becoming harder and harder for me to text. So when we're done, I'm checking now. Cold Dead Hands is scheduled to be on live with us, live on GCPR from 9 p.m. They'll take you up to 11 p.m. All these times are Eastern, by the way. If you're in a different time zone, do the math. These are all Eastern times, Eastern Standard Time. I can't imagine that there's anybody left who hasn't changed their clocks yet, but just in case. Eastern Standard Time. It's 8:22 now, if you haven't changed any clocks yet. It's Cold Dead Hands from 9 p.m. They take you to 11 p.m. At 11, conversations with Teen Nathan. And then Election Day starts, GCPR, at 8 a.m. with Thomas, Sound of Coffee, first thing in the morning. The help desk will be on the air tomorrow evening, but shortened. It will be on from 6 to 7, and then from 7 to 9, could be 7 to 10. Actually, I think it's 7 to 10 that we're going to try to do. I don't know if I will be there for all of it, but that's not the point. You should do it anyway. Beginning from, I think, 10 p.m. Eastern, or no, so from 6 to 7, the help desk, 7 to 10, we're going to give you some election night coverage. We'll give you whatever results we have. We'll give you stories of voting from around the country, whatever the big stories are surrounding the election, how the candidates spent their last days, or last day, or last hours, really. What the legal scene looks like, what lawsuits are already in the hopper, things like that. Remember, there's lawsuits from the Republicans in 81 states. They still haven't Googled the 81. I still haven't turned the 81. I haven't Googled the 81 star flag yet. I really need to see one. I know somebody somewhere on the internet has probably been one. And then from 10 p.m. tomorrow night, Teen Nathan takes over the coverage solo and takes you through the rest of the evening, probably till 1 o'clock or later. Our plan, George and I, our plan is to be with you Wednesday. I have medical testing Wednesday. If I can get back in time to be on the air with you, I will. If I can't, I can't. Our plan is to be with you this week and be with you live Sunday. After all of this election stuff dies down, I think we're going to have to cut the schedule back a little bit because I physically can't do it. I'm kind of crumbling here under the pressure, apparently. My body's just not up for it. I told the doctors, if you were with us last night, Mike was kind enough to call. We were having a great conversation. I happened to mention what my daily schedule is. And he told me I was nuts, which, again, kick the guy when he's down. Like, he's probably not wrong. I can't keep it up, clearly. So I think we will be scaling back, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is what's coming the next couple of days. Cold Dead Hands from 9 p.m. tonight. Tonight from 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, all these times are Eastern. Conversations with Teen Nathan. Thomas kicks off Election Day with you live here on GCPR from 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the crew, the GCPR family, returns. The help desk from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then the whole family. The GCPR family gets together on your screens and on your radios and on your streaming platforms to take you through election night. T. Nathan takes you the rest of election night until even he finally collapses of exhaustion. I got about 4 minutes left. Let me just tell you, George could not be on screen tonight because he is fighting with his computer as well. So let me again. I despise doing this every single night, but I have to because we just need your help. I probably shouldn't say it that way. We don't just need your help. We need your help. You go to our home group Facebook page, that other side of information, at the top, in the featured tab. You tap on the features tab or click on it or whatever it is. Please, you will see a post there with a GoFundMe. This is by George and myself. This is not even related to GCPR or Hot 101 or America One or any of the places that you might think, any of the places that I'm affiliated with. It's not on any of them. It's just George and I. We're asking for your assistance. Read the post. Read the art, the description of what it is that we're trying to accomplish. And if you can donate to us, that's awesome. It really is. It's awesome. And I appreciate it. And if you can't, I certainly understand that as well. We hope that GoFundMe takes off a bit after the election. We have a dollar amount goal. If we could get even part of it, enough to get some new equipment here, that's it. But please be rest assured, I would not ask you if we didn't need the help. I would not ask you if I was doing anything nefarious. This is not a Trump charity here. Any money that you are kind enough to donate, and please only do so if you can afford it, will be used for radio equipment. That means new computers, a new mixing board, possibly some upgraded microphones and headsets. That's it. I'm not going to pay mortgage with it. George is not going to take a trip to Tahiti. None of that stuff. Do people still go to Tahiti? It seems to be like a phrase. George is not going to Aruba or anywhere else. It's literally to upgrade studio equipment, period. That's it. So we hope that you'll take a look at that. I'm going to go try and breathe. I'm quite addicted to it. I've been doing it since I was born. Can't seem to stop. It only seems to become more and more difficult, but I can't seem to quit. If I could just quit, I wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to try and go take a breath. I'm going to try to relax, digest this like foot-long sub that I barely chewed in my stomach. And we will return to you tomorrow, again, at the risk of being terribly, terribly repetitive. Cold Dead Hands, half hour from now, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Conversations with T. Nathan from 11 p.m. Thomas kicks off your election day from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Help Desk, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And then GCPR Team Election Night coverage begins from 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We hope that you will be with us for all of it, for absolutely all of it. Every election, candidates tell you that this is the most important election of our lifetime. This one really, really is. If you have not voted yet, if you have not dropped off your mail-in ballot at a drop box or your county elections office, don't you dare mail it. It'll never get there in time and your vote will be wasted. Vote in person tomorrow or take your ballot directly to your county elections office before the polls close. But Don't waste your vote. Please vote tomorrow. Have a plan and please vote. It's your constitutional right. Don't waste it. Don't sit this one out. This is the most important election probably since the Civil War era. We will decide as a country whether we remain a country or not, whether we remain a democracy or not. Period. It's not an exaggeration, and I think most of you know that. So please vote. Do whatever you got to do. Get an Uber, get a cab, get a ride, walk, ride a horse. I don't care what you have to do. You're going to the polls tomorrow. Go. Get there. Get there in time. Please remember, if your polls close, for example, the polls in Pennsylvania close at 8 p.m. If I'm standing in line at 8 p.m., the law says I am allowed to vote, period. Even if I stand in line till 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or midnight, if I'm there in line when the polls close, I am allowed to vote. Don't let them take your vote from you. Use it tomorrow. If you already voted absentee or by mail, God bless you. If you have your mail-in ballot sitting on the dining room table, take it to a drop box tomorrow. Take it to your county elections office. Do not use the mail. It will not get there. Let's all say it together before I say goodnight. Cold Dead Hands from 9. T. Nathan from 11. Thomas kicks off your election day coverage tomorrow morning from 8. The help desk from 6 with George Gilbert. The GCPR team comes together on your screens and on your radio 7 p.m. tomorrow night. T. Nathan finishes your election day coverage from 10 tomorrow night. Until then, for everyone at GCPR, for everyone that surrounds TKE tonight and the Kennedy Effect, that's Lynn and George, Kristen, Daisy the dog, and of course, Eva Riddick. I am Jeff Kennedy. I'm going to go try and breathe. By the way, if you've noticed, my voice is losing my voice. Not sure. Not the dulcet baritone you're used to. Idiot. What am I talking about? I'm getting goofy from lack of oxygen. Thank you all for being here. Forgive me for the shortened program, but don't worry. We got a big day tomorrow. GCPR is with you the whole day. And we look forward to seeing you then. Stick around for Cold Dead Hands, T. Nathan, Thomas in the morning. Take care. See you tomorrow.